Hi again, it is Jonathan Smith here, and I just wanted to make a few updates. It is still the 6th of March, and I wanted to make a few updates because there has been a few big changes. Now, I have been saying for weeks now that this whole thing is going to start wakening people up soon, and I just want to go over some key things that have happened. Now, we look at the cases here. The cases are 102,249. It was 98 yesterday, or so. It's actually jumped up quite a lot. But one of the important things to look at is the active cases are still remaining high, and there still is 15% that are still in critical on the active cases. So the 85% of mild conditions don't really matter to me. They're not really a big thing. People are getting better, they're recovering, and all the news media is saying this, how most people are recovering, which is all good, good and dandy. But there's one issue that, through looking at the previous critical cases, almost 50% of the critical care cases are dying. So that's actually quite a few people that might die with the 15%. It could be 7% or so of those from the active cases. It probably would be a bit lower, but there has a potential to be 7 or 8%. So on the closed cases, which is also important, we can see it's pretty much remained the same. But one of the key things here that I have noticed, and I feel is very important, is that even though the United States has not gotten its tests rolled out yet, and that will not happen until next week, until they really start rolling out, people are still being tested. Now, there has been some 100 plus cases today, and considering it's after GMT, so it's the next day, considering there's been 16 cases. Now the United States is reporting them as the information comes in from news sources, so you'll get a lot of these cases being updated multiple times throughout the day, and it's 16 already. I am making a prediction at the end of this day, which will be 24-hour period for the United States, because right here it's 11:37 p.m. or 23:37. I'm making a prediction that it will be maybe 200 by the end of the day tomorrow. I think it's going to be high. There has been a lot more deaths. People are finally dying from it. There has been very little in the way of recoveries from people, from those reported on the cases that are active in the United States right now. Which means that as this number goes up of total recovered, you're going to see this number go up too. So people expect more deaths as the people recover, which is naturally happening. This serious and critical number is probably false. There's no way there's just 8 people. But what we're seeing here is now that some tests are being done, not enough, but a few tests. We're seeing that the United States is going to become a problem. It is already spreading through the community. We are seeing that, and we can see this through. We scroll down a little bit. We can see that one new case in Illinois. She was on the Grand Princess, and this is what I'm talking about. How, people need to self-quarantine themselves. You cannot tell me that this woman did not know, hasn't been following the news in the last 3-4 days about the Grand Princess, and yet it's the 6th. So the last day she did work was the 2nd, but the point is that she came off of the ship, and it's she's still, even though the Diamond Princess was still going on then, before the Grand Princess news came alight, she should have been smart and realized, oh hey, I was just on a cruise ship, and look what happened to this other cruise ship, the Diamond Princess. It got destroyed by this COVID-19, and she didn't think smartly, so she went in and went back to school for special education children and was around them. So this is the surprising thing here was the 2 fatalities in Florida, like just suddenly out of the blue. And this is what we're going to start seeing, is fatalities just appear out of the blue all throughout the day. So that is important, and mostly on the United States. If we compare the numbers to the amount of total cases, I can imagine that the United States is going to go up and up. It's going to surpass Germany within 24 hours or 48 hours. Probably 48 hours, because Germany's going to report soon their additional numbers. And I think it's going to be below Italy in 48 hours. But I think it might be 48 to 72 hours, maybe about 900. And then on Monday or Tuesday, we'll probably be in the thousands then. So the United States is going to be a hot area. Now we're going to look at the graphs a little bit. 16. So as you can see, the cases are going up, and as you can see on the 5th, it was 98,000. Now it's 102 on the 6th, so it's quite a jump. And we can see here in Wuhan, in China, mostly it was updated to 3,915 on the 4th of February, and then there was this massive jump. Now I think you can ignore that, potentially spread that out over all these days. So maybe there was about 4,900 on the 4th. Reason why there's a huge spike is because of new updates on measuring, and it was I think it's more of a clerical thing that happened on February the 12th. And so we're going up, and then we start seeing the worldwide the transmission of this during globally, and then it starts off slowly, and China has been going down, whereas it's been going up in the United States. So yeah, it's 3,600 was today. It's going to go up quite a lot. You should see it explode. So it's going to keep going up globally, and this is an issue. We're going to start surpassing globally more than what China was getting. So expect 200,000 cases by the end of March. It's going to double probably. Okay, so it's just a little quick update. Hopefully people are becoming more aware of this outbreak.